Ah, winter. We humans are pretty soft nowadays. If our Wi-Fi cuts out during a snowstorm, we treat it like a localized apocalypse. But imagine waking up around 20,000 years ago during the last glacial maximum, the absolute boss level of the Ice Age. No blankets, no Amazon Prime, and Europe is basically one giant frozen Wi-Fi-less tundra. If you don't figure out how to survive the next 6 months, your entire lineage ends right here. So, how did our ancient ancestors survive their very first brutal winters without turning into human popsicles? Well, it all started with a radical fashion revolution. Listen up, tribe. Summer leaves and bearskin are out. Heavy-duty, ethically harvested cave bear fur is in. It's warm, it's bloody, and it screams, "I killed this with a pointy stick." Before the Ice Age, humans wore loose skins, but loose skins let the freezing wind in, which leads to hypothermia, which leads to, well, death. So, ancient humans invented one of the greatest technological breakthroughs in history, the eyed needle, crafted from animal bone. This allowed them to sew tailored, multi-layered clothing. They wore underwear made of soft hair fur, insulating middle layers, and waterproof outer layers made of reindeer hide. For the first time, humans created a portable microclimate around their bodies. They were essentially wearing the prehistoric version of a high-tech ski suit. But staying warm on the move wasn't enough. You needed a home base that wasn't just a drafty cave. All right, team, the local cave is fully booked by a family of cave hyenas, and they refuse to leave. So, we are going to build our own house, out of that dead woolly mammoth over there. In the treeless frozen steppes of Eastern Europe, wood was incredibly scarce. So, humans became ultimate recyclers. They used massive mammoth skulls as foundations, locked the giant tusk bones together to create a domed roof structure, and draped the whole thing in heavy animal hides. These mammoth bone huts were architectural masterpieces. They kept the howling winds out and the heat in. And speaking of heat, you needed fuel for the fire. But remember, no trees. What did they burn? That's right. Animal fat and bone marrow burn incredibly hot and long. Sure, the prehistoric living room smelled like a burnt barbecue mixed with a landfill, but hey, it beat freezing to death. But keeping warm burns a ridiculous amount of calories. And during winter, all the delicious berries, nuts, and plants completely disappeared under 3 meters of snow. There was no agriculture yet. So, what's for dinner? It was a strictly carnivore diet. Humans had to hunt massive megafauna to survive. But how do you store hundreds of kilos of meat without a refrigerator? Behold, the permafrost pantry. It keeps the meat fresh and stops the saber-toothed cats from stealing my lunch. By digging into the permafrost, they created natural freezers, securing a steady food supply for the dark months. But the ultimate secret weapon of ancient humans wasn't the fur, the bones, or the meat. It was teamwork. While solitary predators like the Neanderthals struggled in isolated groups, Homo sapiens formed large, highly organized social networks. They shared resources, traded materials across hundreds of kilometers, and told stories around the fire to keep from going insane during the dark, depressing winter nights. So, the next time you feel a slight draft in your room and think about complaining, just remember, your ancestors survived the literal Ice Age by building houses out of monsters, wearing tailored bearskins and burning poop just so you could sit here today. Stay warm out there and subscribe for more videos.